get your latest updates, please subscribe, hit like, and make sure you leave your comments in the box below. Love to hear back from you.
Hey folks, Santosh Shiva here with RunYogi Diaries, your host. Good to be back. I want to talk about a book that I've been reading, something that I'm loving. It's called The Atomic Habits by James Clear. Fantastic set of ideas and tips to make your New Year resolutions stick. So before that, let's go for a quick run. Have a good one. So the main takeaway for me from this book was that you look at habits at 3 layers. One is at the layer of outcomes. Like you can have a goal to complete a marathon or lose weight. That's a level of outcome. When you take on a goal like a marathon or weight loss, once it's done, there is a sense of emptiness and you don't know what to do with it. And the tendency is to fall back on something that wasn't working before. Although it's a great first step, I think it's not sustainable. The second domain, the domain of processes, is fantastic and it works, and most of us who are runners probably relate to it, that unless you go out and create a process, a system, it's unlikely that something you take on is going to be sustainable. So creating a set of processes as a habit, like for example, waking up in the morning before, when the alarm rings, no snooze, could be a process, a system that I'm taking on, anybody can take on, and create adjacent habits around it, like having coffee or reading a book while having coffee could be a potential habit that you can define as a process. So the third principle, which kind of connected with me, is the whole idea that the domain of identity is a very powerful place to create habits. When I said I'm a runner, and this was after my first half marathon, at the level of identity, when I created myself as a runner, it was a natural outcome that I go running and did not have to convince myself that I had to run. Yeah, there were circumstances and logistics that I had to deal with, but there were no questions that I was going to run. And the same thing with bicycling. Although I have bicycled quite a few rides, 100 miles, MS 150s and 100Ks. Somehow I never created my identity as a bicyclist, and the result shows I've not been very consistent in bicycling. So identity is a very powerful layer at which one needs to create habits. You could keep doing things, and at heart, if you do not experience yourself being something or becoming something, I think it becomes inauthentic and it's a struggle. In summary, if you want to make habits, good habits, come through, make it easy, accessible, achievable, small bits, and the small bits keep adding. 2, make it obvious. 3, where make it obvious could be, example could be for me when it comes to running, keeping my clothes ready the previous night, so when I wake up, it's not a huge mental activity to get everything going. 3, make it attractive. In the case of running, you feel good, you are healthier, you look good, so that's attractive. And 4th, satisfying. That's my quick takeaway. I recommend reading the book. I've just given you a summary. Make sure you read this book and have fun with it. Thank you.